16-year-olds had mobile phones. Digital media was a third of this. And most, so pretty surprising. So there's a bunch of new data to leverage as marketers. Here are a couple of stats. One is in 2016, Americans will use 2.8 trillion minutes of voice, or 2.8 trillion minutes of talk time. In addition, we'll use nearly 10 trillion megabytes of data this year. I saw this stat earlier this year, it kind of surprised me, that 95% of the world's data has been created since 2012. So nearly all of it is mobile. So understanding the customer journey, in my mind, is maybe the biggest opportunity for marketers. This comes from a research about understanding the complex multi-touch point journeys of customers today. This is a field to analyze and understand that will all right, on to the next section. In my mind, really the big part of the blind spot goes offline. We have to basically carry with us, and we're constantly hopping between real-life conversations, consumer and real-life business interactions, and searching and selecting products on our mobile device. This is probably the most interesting advertising slide that I've seen this year. It shows the net increase or decrease in spend each major advertising channel will have between 2015 and 2018. On the top, mobile internet will see an influx of $75 billion of new spending. The next highest will be TV, $5.5 billion. Compare that to most of what PubCon has been evaluating since its existence. Desktop internet will actually decline by $7.2 billion in spending. So I think that brands are understanding that mobile is really the way to connect with consumers, and then putting their money where their mouth is. We've had the luxury over the last 10 to 15 years of using cookies to track consumers as they travel around PCs. And so when someone does something online, goes to the website, clicks through a search ad, buys something in our shopping cart, we're able to credit online conversions. However, in mobile, we can't really escape, we can't do that anymore. And when someone calls or someone walks in the store, it's really difficult to credit off the bank. Examples of this. So I think that marketers really lack knowledge where consumers spend the majority of their time, maybe not online, but at least in the real world. Consider a consumer that goes to, let's say, like a goes, drives around, ends up calling a home security company, drives around a bit more, visits a office, and in your heart, calling a estate agent. This person is probably moving. Now let's take another person who visits a school and then goes and calls a doctor or a pediatrician, then calls Toy Store, and finally visits a cosmetic store. We can probably piece together this person is mom. And so a combination of location data and call data really provides a picture of what consumers are doing and helps marketers. I think marketers have said best about what the blind spot is. Marketers were asked to compare priority versus capabilities for a number of key marketing activities related to mobile. 84% of marketers said it was high priority to associate conversion events with marketing. but just 10% said they had the capability to do so. And we had the same data for tailoring messaging on channel, understanding customer behavior over time, and matching customers across multiple devices. This essentially it's a big. And this is, I think, the reason why. So we're not talking about pure e-commerce transactions on mobile because those are generally highly trackable. The challenge are offline sales. So these darker circles across the top show mobile influenced in-store sales by year, 2013 2016, in the billions. And in light blue, the bottom circles, is mobile influenced call commerce. That is consumers that research or select something on a mobile device and then call to make an appointment, reservation, or over the phone purchase. There's some stats to support that, which come from a couple different sources. 76% of people who conduct a local search on their smartphone visit a business within 24 hours and purchase something. And then a quarter of people who click to call a local business or national call center purchase a product or service within 30 days. So how should we think about this as marketers? I think that engaging with the mobile consumer requires context in the digital and physical world. The digital world, if what you say or what your intent is defined by things like Twitter and search. In the physical world, what you say is what you say over the phone. As it pertains to businesses, I'm sure it matters what you say to friends as well, but not commerce context. And then where you go online is a website or app, but where you go in the physical world is your location. And those are big data points that mobile marketers can harness to make their advertising and customer experience better and more efficient. All right, so let's talk about the third or fourth agenda topic. Let's talk about the importance of search and display. So for many businesses, mobile analytics is really about online and offline. If you understand where people go and what they say, you can empower marketers, engage with every customer, and deliver an outstanding customer experience. I'm going to dive in a little bit more to the phone call side of things. So a phone call is the most natural and common response to a mobile search for most industries. This data comes from Google, where they asked consumers if they were likely or very likely to call after doing a search for key industries: auto, bank, goods, hotel, professional. And you can see that most consumers are inclined to do this. Generally speaking, consumers chose a phone call as the preferred option to go forward out of any other after doing a mobile search. And in terms of search spend, this is really important. Calendar year 2016, marketers spent about $29 billion on paid search, and that will grow 40% over the next 3 years. At the same time, the percentage of searches that are mobile, which is the pink line, will move from 63% of searches all the way up to nearly 80% of searches. And how that translates into phone calls, a huge chunk of that revenue will come directly from click-to-call. So $4 billion spent on calls from Google and to a lesser extent Bing in 2015, doubling to $8 billion by 2019. Now, Google continues to make pretty significant investments in calls and advertising format. They came out with an early mobile phone ad in 2019, and then they added call extensions in 2012, followed by location extensions this year, and they've had a couple of other iterations in between. But it seems that that Google is going to continue to invest in making the call to action more robust. Display also has a really major influence on phone calls and in-store activity. The challenge is a lot harder to measure because you don't see a display ad and then click to make a phone call. It influences your behavior. When somebody looks at a display ad and buys something online, you can match those things things up. However, it's tough to match up a display impression with a phone call that happens 2 or 3 weeks later. We've released a product at MarchX that allows marketers to do that. And we found that it takes, on average, about 8,000 impressions for a display to influence a phone call within 2 weeks of exposure. So as mobile analytics is getting more advanced, marketers are going to be able to better match up influence actions. You go online to offline at a day with online. Okay, so here's my last section before turning over to Colin. All in measurement. So this is probably the most actionable way to start matching up online to offline. Online to in-store can be done a little bit through Google. I imagine will become more sophisticated in the coming years. But it can be actioned pretty much right away. This is a quote from one of our customers, Accor Hotels. MarchX call analytics in UK and US in order to gain real-time visibility into our digital advertising campaigns, and within weeks we achieved 10x ROI on our investment. So for those of you who want to understand more what critical call measurement means, this next section is for you. Okay, so in order to optimize phone calls as you would online or e-commerce, we answer the following questions. First, which ad or keyword generated the call? Second, did the phone call convert into a sale? And then third, how do you optimize your media to get more quality conversations? So let's tackle the first question, which ad generated the phone call? So the tracking pixel for a phone call is a unique phone number placed in an ad. So if you use Google, you know that Google will replace your phone number with a Google trackable phone number. And Google isn't answering the phone, they're just forwarding that phone call directly to your business. These types of call tracking numbers can be used extensively throughout search landing pages, display, pretty much anywhere where you advertise in order to attribute inbound phone calls to online events. Checking more on search, which has generated the call, answering this question really requires 2 types of measurement. Neither one on its own is quite enough, particularly if you want keyword level attribution. So 40% of calls come from landing pages. So that's when you click on the search ad, go to a page, or go to a website, make a call from there. And 60% of calls occur direct from extensions. This data comes from, this is like an average of all of our clients. It does vary quite a bit, depending on a number of different factors, some of which I'll get into a little bit later. In order to track these things, using more sophistication than Google, you really need dynamic tracking on a landing page, which temporarily assigns a phone number to a landing page based on the keyword attribute and URL. So we probabilistically estimate the keyword associated with an inbound phone call that occurs through a call extension. And that data needs to be fed into a bid management system if that's what you do to optimize calls. So did the call convert into a sale? That's really the second question, because we know not all calls are created equal. You don't want to assume a customer service call or an accidental phone call is one that you should optimize for. The way to solve for this is technology referred to as conversational analytics, or analytics that measure the voice stream of a phone call. Things like time, music, silence, keywords, etc. And its visual representation is from my company MarchX's version of that called DNA. And it's useful for a bunch of reasons. One reason is to identify calls that likely end up in a sale by consumers saying things like confirmation number or order number. But it's also used to understand which features consumers care about. We work with a bunch of cable and satellite operators. But the words are probably too small to see it back. Anyway, what we did for in a cable satellite industry report is we ranked features that customers were asking about when they purchase voice, TV, or data products. And at the top is DVR, basic cable, and HBO, which were the most popular requested features. And at the bottom were Apple TV and 3D TV. And then we also used conversation analytics to understand whether it was predominantly females or males asking about each subject. This thing is really important to understand things like, are your promotions working? Why are customers calling? Are they asking for your brand name? And so on. The second question. And the third question is, how do I optimize my media? And generally the way to do that is to integrate call tracking or call analytics data directly into the platforms that you use in order to make media buying decisions for your online buys. So these can be search analytics and CRM platforms, or some folks customize their own via API. So once you have online to offline call data or in-store data, you're exposed to that, you can improve media efficiency. But the other major use case is improving sales efficiency for the customer journey. So here's an example of improving business performance through analytics using the example of a national auto retailer. Identify using call analytics. For one, in-store agents weren't asking for appointments. So people were calling and sort of saying, my car's got an issue. But the person answering the phone was not proactive with trying to get the customer in the door to book an appointment. Also, 10% of calls were unanswered, with only some being in non-business hours. This is sort of equivalent to your landing page being down on your website 10% of the time. It's obviously a problem. And finally, frequent hold time led to hangouts. We're calling, like the front desk was answering the phones, and there's somebody here, right? Like me, we hold, pick up the phone in minutes. Consumers were hanging out. This might seem like a strange piece of conversation for a digital marketing conference, but as consumers are more often online, offline, we have more data at our disposal to understand the customer journey. We have to start thinking about a phone call in-store experience as a landing page for mobile. So we work with this on solving these things through training, crowdsourcing call centers during non-business hours, and essentially the training believes that they can increase the revenue by $100 million in the things they evaluated through mobile analytics. Obviously, this is a big company, so it's more money than some people can make from this, but it's a really big deal. All right, this is my last slide. And this is a three-step guide for marketers to activate phone calls as a mobile sales channel. So first, my first recommendation is to add a phone number in paid search campaigns and on landing pages for social and display campaigns, where it's visible from your website. And just by making a phone number available and clickable and large enough on every page will increase your sales. Incidentally, Google did a study asking consumers what the impact would be if a business did not include their phone number in a paid search ad or on their website. And approximately 40% of consumers say they would have less trust in their business. Even if they weren't inclined to call, having a phone number is like a safety, sort of safety blanket. Second, implement call tracking technology to easily assign credit to your marketing campaigns so you can track them and improve media performance. Leverage advanced features to gain a unified view of the customer journey to power your customer engagement efforts. So thanks. With that, I'll turn it over. This is my company, by the way, Marchex. We're an advertising analytics company. I'll pass the mic and for deep dive into Google Analytics on mobile. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Khalid Saleh. I am the CEO of Investment. Just I'll send just a couple quick slides about investors. I flew 22 hours to be at Okan, so I can justify to my wife and kids why I can't here. Invest is a version optimization company. I'm happy to produce a 65% uplift increase in conversion rates over 12 months period. We've done 3,000 plus successful A/B tests, over 400 plus clients, and optimization projects, 11 different countries. Some of the companies that we work with, eBay, 3M, Special Olympics, Oracle, and many others. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about quantitative research, looking at data and drawing conclusions from that data. But before even I start with that, there are some basic things that we've learned the hard way sometimes. So I'm going to go through some of those, just kind of keep those items in mind. And I'm going to take you through an actual case study, some numbers that I pulled from one of our clients, change the numbers a little bit, just kind of talk about okay, what the numbers are telling us. So one of the very first things, before we even get into analytics, one of the things that drive increasing conversion rates for any website is conducting qualitative research. And sometimes the challenge that I see is that analytics professionals stay away from qualitative research, and those doing qualitative research don't like numbers. And really, if you want to be successful, you have to be able to merge the two. Qualitative research tells you a lot about your visitors, actually talking to those visitors and hearing what they like and what they don't like on your website. So there's a story to be told there. And at the same time, I believe that numbers, if you think carefully to them, will tell you also a lot about your website and what's working in it and what's not working in it. Now, at the same time, you need to look at your numbers. One of the biggest challenges that I see with analytics is lots of us have analytics installed on our website. I recall back in 2005, the Internet Retailer magazine. And at that point, we were working with a Fortune 500 company, and they didn't even have analytics installed. Now, this is about 11, 12 years ago. So things have changed tremendously since then. And what I see nowadays is lots of companies have lots of the analytics stuff installed. They even have analytics departments. But most of the time, what the analytics guys are doing, the analytics professionals are doing, is that they are doing reporting, correct? They're just sitting there, doing the data, pulling the reports, putting them nice, PowerPoint presentations, and then showing them to stakeholders. That's not what an analytics person's job should be. That's probably an intern's job, correct? I can get somebody who's a high school intern to train him or her, and they'll be able to pull that data. An analytics professional should be able to pull the data and explain to me what are the problems on the website, how I should fix those problems, and what will be the business impact by fixing those problems. If I do those steps, identify the problem, why I should care about the problems, and the business impact, that's how you go from $50 consultants to $1,000 consultants. It's a huge difference between the two. So I'm going to talk specifically about Google Analytics. Most people over here use Google Analytics. Quick show of hands. Yes? Great. So Google Analytics could be this small little baby. Just something really simple. I took the script from Google and I installed it on my website. And Google Analytics could be this superhero, Superman. My partner's just like, why use Superman? You should use Batman. I'm like, the image is much nicer, so you end up getting stuck with Superman. So, although I do like Batman a lot more. So, Google Analytics, it's really up to you what value you want to drive from it. Because it provides you both. It's just like having a small car, or you can have the Lamborghini. Google Analytics can do both. So if you're looking at Google Analytics just strictly to provide basic reporting, source and media data, conversion data, some keyword data, that is kind of the little child, the infant that's just starting to walk. However, if you move into, let's add, besides basic reporting, besides social media, conversion data, keyword data, let's start looking at different funnels and goals in the website. Let's start looking at the different events that we should be triggering. Let's start looking at the mobile website data, attribution, behavior flow, interest, frequency, and recency. That's when we start like, kind of like, okay, dwelling on the data. And again, I'm not talking about just numbers, because you can hire a consultant, like in a week, I would say a week, and pull all this data for you. But pulling these reports and actually analyzing them and saying, okay, so based on this XYZ report, here's what we need to do, and this is the business impact. And I'll show you at the end a sample case study of this. I'm talking about some of the things to, like, we'll take Google Analytics to kind of superhero. I'm going to start with the very absolute minimum. And this is sort of a hard lesson, so we've been doing this for 12 years, but we still fall into this mistake. Like, no matter how much I tell our staff, it's going to sound very silly, but set up alerts, nothing worse than the client's websites, Google Analytics not collecting data for a week or two, and you discover that, you know, 2 weeks later, and you don't have data, or your conversion data is not there, or traffic from Google did not record for a while, or your previous data did not record. So setting up alerts is kind of absolute minimum. Whenever we start a project, there is a list of alerts that we set up for any client, and this is very simple. So if you have an admin right, you click on the property, you click on the account, the property, the view, you click on the custom alerts, you add a new alert, and there is plenty of alerts that Google Analytics allows you to do. But I would do this because every once in a while, you want to track whether something bad is happening, or sometimes you start noticing some trends. For example, all of a sudden, like, we're getting 25% more conversions, or we're getting 30% more traffic. I would like to get an alert when this happens. I don't want to leave it to the fact that I'm going to log in or an analyst logs in, because I don't want to really, be aware of this and look at what's going on, guys. Why did our sales drop by 20 or 30%? So there's, set up, as you see, there's parameters over here that you can set up. For example, sessions increased by 25% compared to the same day on a previous week. So at a minimum, what you want to do is look at traffic, whether increase or decrease. Set up an alert for that. I like to set up at 10%. Some people do 10%, but 10% is within normal situation. Revenue going up, down. 10%, 25%. You just choose whatever number that you want to choose. If you're an e-commerce website, that's the rate going up and down, and compared to a previous day of the week. There's an excellent resource, metrics. They list about 30 different alerts. This is the URL, and the presentation will be available. Lots of alerts. I don't want to do an overkill. One really nice I started working with, she looked like 55 alerts. Bombarded the heck out of me. It's like constant emails, whatever happens. Like, you or this with alerts. So I like to set up anywhere between 5 and alerts, but this way we're aware of any changes that happen on the account. Thing is setting up goals. So, how many over here use goals in their Google Analytics target? How many over here have less than 10 goals? Like, say 15 goals set up. Ooh, 20 goals. How many here has set up some views to track all the different goals that they have to set up on their website? So we'll talk about this now a little bit. So one thing that you want to think about, lots of times, whenever you're looking at analytics, whenever you're looking at this conversion optimization, we're always focused on getting to that big yes, right? Some place order with our website, our e-commerce website, subscribe on our website, or it says if we are a SaaS website, somebody filling out a lead gen form, that's what we want to have on the website. However, in order for us to get to that big yes, the visitor has to go through a series of small choices, correct? Subconsciously, the visitor has to move from your home page, scroll down a little bit, click on a link, go to another page. Let's say you're one of your services pages, read that services page, click on another link to go to about page. From the about page, they say, I like those guys. I'm going to click on the contact us page, and they fill the contact form. If you think about it, the visitors subconsciously make probably anywhere between 20, 30, 40 yeses. He said those yeses, correct? Until that big conversion, macro conversion took place. The challenge for you, if you're doing conversion optimization or trying to increase your website conversion rate, is you have to get the visitor to say all those 100 yeses, and the visitor says a single no, then your conversion funnel breaks. and may or may not have a chance to convert that visitor. So, one of the very first things that you want to ask yourself, what are the top macro conversion goals, big guesses that we have on the website? So I can tell you, if you're an e-commerce website, an order is a macro conversion, correct? Maybe somebody subscribing on our website, that's another macro conversion that we want to have. Maybe somebody filming, like, finding, using a store locator, that's another macro conversion. But there's micro conversions that we want to also track. And we want to identify those micro conversions. And if you only identify 5 goals, you sit down. You probably, if you give me any website, I can easily identify 20, 30, 40 different goals that I want to track on the website. So sample goals for you. If you're an e-commerce website, you can apply this on your website, but this kind of just gets you thinking. You want to track from a home page to an order confirmation. That's one goal that I want. This is kind of a big, humongous goal. But notice I started from the home page, correct? I'm from the home page to a category. I want to see that navigation. And I might want also to track from my home page to topical categories, from my home page to sellable categories. I want to track from my category pages to my product pages. From my category pages to other category pages. I'll track from my product pages to other product pages, from my product pages to other category pages. You see how this can really grow? And sometimes people say, well, why is this? Because it can tell you a lot. Let's take an example of a product page. What's a big product page? What do you guys think?
Buy the product.
Add to cart, right? So what if I find that only 5% of my visitors are clicking on the add to cart, and about 40 or 50% are clicking back to a category page? What does it tell me about my product page design? There's something missing there. I need to add more elements. Now I need to start doing a lot more analysis, look at what category pages people are going to, and bring some of that information to my product page. First step is to realize that I have a problem with some of the numbers, and the next step is to say, okay, how do I fix that problem? Now, some very important, especially if you want, it's very important best practices you want to keep in mind. The full visualization report is a really nice report. People love it. I used to love it. However, one thing that you want to do is not have a limited, home page, category page, product pages, product page to cart page, all of that. Really, the funnel is just the way Google programmed it. It breaks down and it starts doing what we call data filling. So basically, what this does is, so say you have a goal from product page to your cart page. 2 steps, product to cart page. Or let's say from the home page to contact page, or from contact this page to thank you page. 2-step form. Since Google sees that the visitor visited the goal page, it automatically assumes that the visitor came from the previous step. It just fills that data. Whether the visitor went through it or not, doesn't matter to Google. That's sort of what tells you that there is not exactly correct, because it's just doing the backfill. So you really have to be aware of this report. It looks really nice. No problems with it. Also, of course, it doesn't provide you any data. And more importantly, if I do that as well, the percentage of people that are going from my cart page to, let's say, from my cart page to start the checkout process, 20%. Is that meaningful? It could be. It's a lot more meaningful if I break it down by social media and I compare Google Pay to Google Organic to, also the visitor time, the device time that we're using. I want to break it down. Unfortunately, funnel visualization report does not provide that. Something else, and I've heard this quite a bit, actually, just decided to add this over here in the slide about half an hour ago. Bounce rates. None of us like bounce rates, correct? And there's a lot of discussion that Google's starting to use that, and their ranking algorithm. Bounce rates make a lot of sense for an e-commerce website because they tell you whether you want to trust the website, they're liking what you're offering or not. But if you're a content website, bounce rate means nothing. I would argue that. He's like all the other Google analysts, really. One of the guys who actually even contributed to the invention of the term bounce rate. It's an amazing article, saying that bounce rate for content websites makes no sense. Most of the people are I read the article with my I believe your website. Also, by the way, this is something else. Pages high bounce rate page metric is inaccurate. How does Google track time on page? How do they handle the package for the most part track time on page? They need you to a certain point to a page by clock, then you want the second page by colon. So we calculated that you spent 1 minute on the page. But if you constantly visit only one page, I don't have the second page, correct? So that means I have no clue whether you spend a minute, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour. So you have to be also aware. And lots of times we take these numbers for granted. It's just they're just there. It's like, well, my bounce rate is 70%. Well, maybe or maybe not. And also your time on page, also maybe or maybe not. And if you're doing any type of A/B testing, never ever test for bounce rates. Like, well, this is designed to reduce my bounce rate. Statistically, that means nothing. Whenever you're running an A/B test or a multivariate test, you're testing for a discrete state. You either have a conversion or not. It's either 0 or 1. But the change in number means nothing. Statistics, and ultimately A/B testing is about A/B testing is about finding the specific rates. Yes, sir.
So you're saying that just within the site, there's a time that might be running, but if you leave the site and don't go to the page, you don't have any time.
No time. It's impossible for the analytics package, Google or any other package to figure out when did you leave. Let's say you land on a single page on the website and you leave. Like you just leave your computer. Well, Google knows you entered the website at 5:03, but doesn't know when time you left. So after a while, the session expires in 30 minutes, and now Google has to guess, did he spend 30 minutes really, or did he spend 3 minutes? So just randomly guessing. So pages with higher bounce rates, so a single page visit, will have their time on page is screwed up. And I think they're trying to figure out ways around this, but in all honesty, it's not an easy solution to, or as easy problem to figure out. Something else that you want to do is create custom reports. Reports are really amazing. There's a lot of work that's been done on custom reports, so you can come to custom. Not sure what happened here. Anybody from PubCom here? No? The PowerPoint's disappeared. Let me just talk as they're getting. Anybody over here use custom reports? Very good. So whenever you're using custom reports, definitely go to the reports gallery. There is plenty of work that has already been done. Import some of those reports. Avinash has some good reports over there. My recommendation is import those reports, but customize them for your needs. If you just go to custom reports and you go to the report gallery, the first report is Avinash's kind of collection. Work into your website, half of the reports would not work. So you want to customize those reports to meet your needs. So some of the stuff, especially with the case study. Yeah, that's what I'm doing actually. Oh, it works. You just randomly do something. So this is custom reports, report from gallery. I like that collection of reports, but again, customize it. Something else you want to do with analytics, you want to be able to segment the data. You want to segment or die when it comes to analytics. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. You're just telling me that my conversion rate is like 2%. That is meaningless. Now, sometimes I tell people, in sales calls, sometimes we'll have a client. I tell them, okay, it's like the 2% conversion rate, and you can increase that. That's fine. But when you actually start our project, I don't talk about the 2% conversion rates. I start talking about what's your Google organic mobile new visitor conversion rates. That's what I want to hear. Don't talk to me about those general numbers, because you will see large discrepancy between them. So visitors from different sources and mediums, which you'll find out is they act and react differently on your website. And so that's the reason we start segmenting by the top 5 sources, traffic sources and mediums that we have. So for example, we might have direct, organic, paid, email. And then we also segment by new and returning visitors, because your new visitors will behave a lot differently than your returning visitors. And also we'll segment that data by the type of device. So desktop, tablet, mobile. Tablet, we don't focus a lot on it. It's mobile versus desktop. What's interesting is most of our European clients, they're seeing, especially e-commerce clients, they're seeing that their mobile traffic is close to 70%, and desktop is close to 30%. In the US, I'm seeing close to, like, mobile is about probably 50%, and 40 to 50%. So this is the first time, by the way, Europe is kind of leading the US, and I see, like, kind of the numbers increasing. Things in the US, and then we take them to our European clients and implement them. Now we're just kind of doing the other way around. So how do you segment the traffic? You segment by traffic source, by the visitor behavior, and by the expected outcome that you have. And then you can create specific segments within Google Analytics. So by traffic source, what I like to do is identify the top 5 to 10 different traffic sources and mediums. And typically based on your website, but if you're a large website, if you are a large website and traffic source is driving less than 50,000 visitors, I would look at it. So if all I'm getting in a month is 20,000 visitors, no, yeah, I will look at the top 10 traffic sources. And then under the traffic source, I will divide the traffic by the device type, so mobile versus new. And then for each one of those, I will divide it by the visitor type. So how would that look like? So as you see over here, Google CPC, mobile, new visitor. Google CPC, mobile, returning visitor. Google CPC, desktop, new visitor. Google CPC, desktop, returning visitor. So for each traffic source medium, I have basically 4 different segmentations. And I want to look at the visitor behavior for each one of those segments. And then one of the things that's always interesting, so for example, I'll look at Google CPC, mobile, new. And I'll compare that to Google Organic, mobile, new. Yeah. Mobile, they're both new, but one is coming through Google CPC and one's coming through Google Organic. Do you expect them to behave differently? Or would they behave the same? What do you guys think? The same? Differently? No? Differently? Show of hands? Okay? Really makes no difference, obviously, it works both ways. And that's one of the questions that you want to ask. Why? Correct? Because sometimes what's interesting is you'll see that they match exactly, and then you look at Yahoo traffic, it's like completely different. It's not our Bing. It's like, why? And that's when you look at the traffic source and the keywords and you start analyzing. More questions than answers. Visitor behavior, something else I want to analyze. And these, by the way, things that you can go, and I hope that you will go and implement those segments and start looking at the data. And start, like, when you start looking at all this data, lots and lots of questions. And that's really the beauty of analytics, when you have lots and lots of questions and the team sits like, why do you guys think this is happening? So I like to see, like, visitors who made a purchase or a conversion within an X number of days. Let's say our average time that takes for a person to place an order is like 7 days, or like to subscribe to our